So you found a domain name that features your trademark or something very similar to your trademark without your permission for a website that's damaging your business. And now you're wondering what you can do about it. Depending on the specific facts of the situation, you may have a relatively quick and low-cost solution that can put a stop to it fairly quickly and may even result in acquiring the rogue domain name for your company. The solution is known as a UDRP complaint. UDRP standing for Uniform Domain Name Dispute Resolution Policy. All registrars are required to follow the UDRP, which means that a UDRP complaint should always be an option in this situation. Whether it's the right option for you will depend on several factors. A UDRP complaint offers an efficient and affordable alternative for trademark owners to either litigation or a potentially exorbitant purchase price for a domain name that's been registered and is being used in bad faith. But to be successful, a UDRP complaint must establish 4 key elements. First, you must establish that you have the rights to the trademark that's being infringed. You can meet this burden, for example, by providing a trademark registration number if you've already registered your mark with the U.S. Trademark Office. If you haven't explored this option with a trademark attorney yet, there's no time like the present to do so. But even without a registration, you can establish trademark rights, in the United States at least, through evidence of long-term usage and public recognition of your brand. Second, you must establish that the domain name at issue is confusingly similar with your trademark. This can be easy to meet if the domain name is identical with your trademark, but there are situations in which a domain name does not exactly copy your trademark but is confusingly similar nonetheless. Third, you must establish that the other side has no rights and no legitimate interest in the domain name. Keep in mind that multiple parties can own rights to the same trademark, particularly if they offer completely unrelated goods or services. But also, the other party may have other legitimate interests in a domain name. For example, if the trademark at issue also has a separate descriptive or generic meaning, or they are using the domain name to engage in speech protected under the First Amendment. This element requires a close analysis of the other party and their online activities to determine whether this element is met. Fourth, you must establish that the domain name was also registered and is being used in bad faith. This is similar to but distinct from the third element. It's not enough to say that the other side has no legitimate interest in a domain name. They must also have a recognized bad faith intent. One example may be to misdirect visitors looking for your product to a website featuring a competing product, or even simply to collect ad revenue from an inactive or parked domain name. Another example may be to demand an unreasonable amount from you, the trademark owner, in a hostage-type situation where there's no other legitimate interest in the domain name. As with the last element, this element requires a close analysis of the facts of the situation to determine whether it is met. If these elements are met, a UDRP complaint can be processed in a matter of months or possibly even weeks. And if you're successful, the panel hearing the matter may be able to transfer the domain name to you, all at a fraction of the cost of what you'd expect to pay in litigation or even in negotiations with the other side. At the same time, these options are not mutually exclusive, meaning that you don't forfeit your rights to other options by filing a UDRP complaint. In summary, if you find that your trademark is being used in a domain name that negatively affects your business, talk to a trademark attorney about whether a UDRP complaint is the way to go. My name is John Halski. I'm a trademark attorney at Ryan Swanson in Cleveland. My email address is halski@ryanlaw.com, and I'd be happy to answer your questions about UDRP complaints.